Well, 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 what you missed.
In the Well of Ascension.
This one is a hidden detail highlight slash a kind of crazy theory one.
A good crazy one.
Yeah, so let's talk about the Lerasium beads at the Well of Ascension. So we know that there are 10 of these beads when Rashik goes there, but how did they get there? My theory on this is that over time, the Hero of Ages is supposed to come to the Well of Ascension, take up the power, and then condense it into a Lerasium bead, and then put it in a clay tablet and put it in the room there, and then they leave, and 1,000 years go by, the well fills back up, the Hero of Ages comes, and then does the same thing again. And so we know that Rashik gave 8 of these Lerasium beads to the nobles, or the original noble families, and then we know that Hoyd gets one, and we know that Ellen gets one, but they are never explained where they came from. And so I believe that someone, some order of terrorist people,
the world bringers.
The world bringers probably.
Yeah.
Were going to the well every 1,000 years, taking up the power, not using it like Rashik, not giving it away like Vin, but condensing it into Lerasium beads.
Yes.
And that stops the cycle and allows the well to start filling up. What I believe happened is that in the 1,000 years prior to Rashik's ascension, is something happened to the prophecies, the order, something where someone forgot to go do this or didn't go do this for some reason.
I think Ruin got clever enough to stop the person from doing what they were supposed to do.
Yes, and so the well fills up to the brink, and what happens at that point is it starts overflowing. Now we know that the well is pure preservation's power. We know the mists are pure preservation's power. So I believe that the well filling up and then overflowing causes the mists, the deepness,
yes,
which starts this entire story from the beginning with Rashik and the Hero of Ages and culminating with Ven. But I believe that's what's going on there. And
yeah. It makes a ton of sense. So the terrorist religion, which we have totally lost, and I hope that we learn more about because we do have now the first generation. I think that the terrorist religion was all about taking care of preservation's perpendicularity and keeping Ruin imprisoned. And somehow, and it probably, if there are 10 beads, that means that there's been 10,000 years that this has been going on.
And I think we understand that Scadrial is like 10,000 years old. I think it's from a wad or something.
I'm not sure.
We'll look that up.
We can look it up and put it here if that's true, or correct ourselves if it's not true. But what I think is going on is that the entire purpose of the World Bringers is to find a person who is appropriate to take that power, totally resist using it to, like, selfishly, or releasing it and condensing it into a bead of preservation's pure power. And then it does get a little bit more interesting in here too, because we know that there is allomancy before Rashik's ascension, before he gives those beads. And that actually leads into the next hidden detail highlight we're going to do about the Lerasium beads. But
well, I think the allomancers that existed prior to the first nobles taking their Lerasium beads were because they just had slightly more connection to preservation over Ruin. And that's basically what the Lerasium beads does. It gives you this incredible connection to preservation, and that allows you to unlock allomancy. And then of course, over time, it's being diluted and you're getting less and less of that connection to preservation, and you get mistings instead. And then eventually you don't get anything or very, very few mistings. And of course, you also see that with how powerful Elend is as a Mistborn, right? When he takes the bead versus how powerful Kelsey or Van or Shan is at 1,000 years later, that Elend is so powerful. He is orders of magnitude more powerful because he is his connection, big C, to preservation is just enormous.
Yeah, no, it's a very, very good guess, and something that when we go to Dragonsteel next, I think we should try to ask Brandon about.
If we don't get up to ask this question, one of you, please ask this question to Brandon. Were the Lerasium beads being condensed from the Well of Ascension by terrorist people?
All done.